Hey, everybody, welcome back to the class. If you're already in here, that means you are ready to get going to resolve this matter of child support. So, in the beginning of this course, it actually wasn't even going to be a course. Let me just start by saying I am a legal researcher, and even that began accidentally. So, over the process of researching law, I discovered some secrets that was never shared with us. And if you're like me and something sounds extremely different, you experience the same cognitive dissonance that I experience. I could not believe that the public school system did such a fantastic job of convincing me, you, all of us, that the only way to handle our legal affairs was to hire an attorney. Well, that's not true. And that's how I'm addressing the process of resolving your child support, right? It's going to be through your own court, and it's going to be privately done through administratively, basically. So that's where the name administrative process comes from, okay? But it's founded on law, okay? So that's the first piece. Okay, so the second piece is I'm just looking at my notes because I want to make sure I cover everything in the first introduction video. Okay, so the second thing is when people first join this course, what I'm seeing a lot of is you're coming in, or not everybody, but a lot of bodies, not everybody, but a lot of bodies are joining the course in a state of panic, in a state of emergency and urgency, and wanting that magic wand, and it just doesn't work that way. It is a process. Okay, you send out your notices and you wait and you give enough time, and we'll get into the actual administrative process in a separate video. Okay, but coming in like that, and then the other thing is, not only are you coming in panicked and you're coming in angry, right? You're coming in panic, you're coming in angry, and then you're coming from a state of confusion because you're coming with a lot of different processes under your belt. And this isn't that can be very dangerous because you're trying a bunch of different things. You're just throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks. That's dangerous because that's telling the recipient, be it a judge, a cop, or whoever you're sending your documents to, that's letting them know that you don't know what you're doing. And that's why it can be dangerous because they're just laughing, or they're preparing to attack you because they know the process. So yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a whirlwind. Okay. And then before I forget, the other thing that's become a problem over time since this program, since I, created this class, is people who just don't care about process or anybody else. They're just selfish. They're just, let me get mine, and damn, the world be damned. Those people have shared the information, and it degrades the information over time. And so what I've started to see is, over time, the information, the process still works because it's based on law, it's founded on law. But because the people who are sharing the information, they're not giving the proper foundation, and they're just giving it out and sharing it with everybody and anybody without the proper foundation, it degrades the information. And the recipients who receive the information, they know how to respond, and they know how to respond violently. And so because of this engagement has been going on over time since the beginning of the process. In the beginning, let me go back. In the beginning of the process was um, effective, and very efficient and very, very quick. The earlier cases were closed within 7 days. Today, what I'm seeing is the process is taking longer, and I believe it's because I'm hurting, I'm hurting the child support agencies, and so they're under, all of this attack. And so now they're starting to react because of the degradation that happened over time. It's been 4 years, right? And so if you can only imagine across the United States, all of these agencies are receiving, crap paperwork, right? Crap paperwork. And so it's just so unfortunate that, this is happening, but there's nothing we can do. Once the paperwork is out there, once I put my information out there, it's out in the wild. I have no control. I have lost control of how people use it. And so if people use it selfishly, without any forethought to, future generations that are coming behind them, what can I do? You know? But at the end of the day, to address the elephant in the room, does the process still work, even despite the degradation? Thankfully, I can resoundingly say yes, because it is founded on law, and that the foundation of it is all you're doing is holding them accountable to their own laws. That doesn't expire. That that lives on, to time immemorial, right? Holding people accountable, holding wrongdoers accountable doesn't end just because the information is out there. So, I'm going to get into the administrative process in greater detail in a separate video, because that needs to be addressed. Because again, people are coming in with a lot of different processes. If that's you and and you're feeling lost and confused and wondering if it's going to work, I got you. I get it. I was there. I was once just like you, wasn't sure. I was throwing spaghetti on the wall. I've had cases, prior to me knowing the knowledge too. So I get it. I totally get, being new to learning law, learning and researching law. I get it. So I want to sort of go back and circle back and make sure that I don't leave anyone behind, because this stuff is very advanced, especially if you're new. Anything new is going to be confusing. So there's that, and you just have to take the time and remove the emotions from it, because a lot of people are coming in with a lot of raw emotion and a lot of anger towards the system. Well, that can backfire, and I used to take personal, what is the word? I used to feel very personally responsible for other people's failures, because, I am the instructor, and I didn't even ask for this role. It just kind of happened organically by just me putting myself out there on social media. But I don't feel that way anymore. And this is because I cannot, hold myself responsible for someone else's action, even though they acted, inappropriately with my information. I still felt responsible because it was my information that was being used. And, there's a little bit of, that internal battle that goes on, because I want to do the research, put out the information, and continue and just have that vibe going. But I tell you, a lot of times I just feel like quitting because of the negative part of dealing with this, being an instructor and an educator, trying to, enlighten other people of what I'm learning. And I'm still learning along the process. But at the end of the day, the content in the child support secret is valid. It works. It has worked. It continues to work. But what I'm seeing is, because I just recently saw some paperwork, right? And I saw that there was a lot of extra steps that was added, and a lot of extra paperwork that was added that was not a part of the content. But again, I don't tell grown folks what to do. I can't tell grown folks what to do. And grown folks are going to do what they want to do. I can't help that. So I'm just trying to address all of the issues that I've seen since the beginning up until today, the recording of this video. Just a lot of different personalities and different issues, and it's it's a it's a lot of different things that I it's just not even humanly possible to address because everyone has their own individual case and every case is different. You might think, oh, well, it's just family court in Nevada. Oh, it's just family court in California. You can have family court across the United States, and everyone is going to be different because you, as the individual man or woman, your family dynamics is different. What's happening in your individual case is different, let alone the individual state and the individual court house and the individual judge and the individual opposing counsel. There are too many variables. It's not humanly possible for me to address all of the issues, but one thing for certain that is true is that the process is universal. And that is because you are acting as a manager of your case. This is your God-given right. This is your inalienable right to manage your own case privately. And that's what we're doing here. But new people who don't understand, or let me rephrase that, new people who are thoroughly indoctrinated because they came, just like all of us, we came through the public school system and thoroughly indoctrinated to believe that the only way to handle and manage your legal affairs is through hiring an attorney and through going to court. So these things you're going to experience I'm telling you, that cognitive dissonance, it is a beast. It is a bear, and people will attack because what they don't understand. And so that's what we have going on here. So it never fails. Someone new enrolls into the course and they're like, have a million and one questions. And this is why I always say, go over the information a minimum of 10 times. Well, now I'm going to up the ante and say, go over the information a minimum of 25 times. I'm not saying that to be funny, and I'm not saying that to be mean spirited. I'm saying that because I sincerely mean that it is going by repetition is going to allow it to sink into your spirit. That is really how I learn, through just going over information over and over. And I'm not talking about just 25 times. I'm talking about years, years and years and years. And then stuff starts to click and you start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. So I've tried my best to put all of the pieces of the puzzle, specifically dealing with child support. However, I will preface this by saying it's not this process, administrative process, works for anything, any matter, okay? Because it is up to you and it is your right to administrate your legal affairs privately. And that's what we're doing here, okay? You have the court system and you have your own system, right? And it's the administrative process system that you're just running the process through to see if there's a valid case against you. You do not have to go before a court. You do not have to go in front of a judge. But some people want to, and you have that choice. And that's why I started to address, the different court, because I get it. Child support is tied into the court system because it's sometimes a court order by a judge. So at the same time, even though it's in family court, it's still a separate issue than child support. The way that the administrative work for the child support secrets work is, what I am addressing is someone is making a debt claim against you. A claim is a claim is a claim. They have to prove their claim. Okay, it doesn't matter. And so if there's a court case tied into the child support, you deal with that in the same way. At least this is what I've begun to understand. You can deal with any legal matter administratively from the comfort of your own home through the mail, right? So I have gotten warrants. I don't even want to get started on all the court cases that I had dismissed administratively. It is your right. And when you know who you are, meaning you are the only one who knows the intimate details, book, chapter, line, verse of your case, who better to, manage the case than you? So I think that's pretty much that covers it all. I hope that you are understanding and really receiving what I am trying to say here. So I will go into the steps, the actual steps of the administrative process, so that you can check yourself. Because I really don't take pride in looking over other people's paperwork and information. I know you feel that you need me, but you don't. Because if I can learn this, you can too. It's just that I didn't have anyone like me breaking it down and explaining it to me over the course of the last 8 years. I had to figure this stuff out. So now it is my, duty and privilege to make this easier for you. That's at least that's my goal, that's my vision, and that's my mission. So that's the legacy that I want to leave. And so this is what I am here doing. But I tell you, it's been a very, very difficult journey. There was someone who recently joined who, coming from that place of the oh my god, this is this going to work, um check with a lawyer, and of course the lawyer is going to discourage you, the person, from you know going through with this, because the lawyer wants your business. The lawyer wants you to continue to behave like a public fool who graduated from the public school system and hire them. It is self-preservation. That's where his answer is coming from. And so then that person, became, in attack mode towards me, like, well, the lawyer said, well, of course the lawyer is going to say this is not going to work. But it is what it is. I'm here doing my part. I just want to be of service to humanity, because the court system has been taken over, by people who are connected to each other. They're doing all kinds of, they're running all kind of games and all kind of scams. And now that we are learning to take back our power, they are fighting back. So this is where we are. So, all right, I'm rambling. So let me just get back on track, and I will record the next video regarding the specific steps of the administrative process. Okay, I'll see you then.